In this video, Colleen and I attend the ASA 118 docking class in Seabrook and stick around to the end to see if I think it's worth the money or is it just another ASA class that covers more terms than skills. Alright, let's go. Alright, it's a few minutes before 9 and we just got here for our docking class. Here's Colleen waiting and ready, and we're going to be on a Hunter 38 today. So nice clean looking boat, very similar to what we have. I think ours is maybe a little wider at the beam. Nice clean boat, so we're excited to get this started. They're working at finding our boats. I guess we actually do our instruction from here.
And so often they'll have a big heavy rod bolted to that pole with a ring like you see here. Okay. It'll just be a ring, and that ring is able to go up and down with the tide. So in that scenario, that's when I have to tie the boat off with a sufficient amount of slack so where the boat can go up and down with the tide. If I'm on a fixed dock...
Let me start by explaining why I took the class. I've grown comfortable with sailing, but there's still an uneasy feeling while docking. Now that I'm in a new marina, I thought it'd be a good time to take formal lessons. I recruited Colleen so we could have enough students for the class. Normally it's a 2-day event, but with just 3 of us, the instructor knocked out the curriculum in 1 day.
An anchor on the seabed. And then they would have dock lines that don't float, that are tied off to that anchor. And then those lines are led back on either side of the boat. On the seabed, they go back and then go up on the dock and are tied off. So when you're docking, you back your boat up, you grab those slime lines, and they call them slime lines because they're in the water all the time and they're slimy. So that's mainly in the Mediterranean. I don't know that you're going to see that in the islands anywhere, but that's called med mooring. If I turn loose all the lines right now, what's going to happen?
Turn on the engine.
Turn on the engine. Go turn on the engine, please. All right, I like this. Put it in reverse, please. Idle.
Bows clear.
The only reason I changed Nancy go that way is that's what the boat was doing, and maybe these applications.
We spent a lot of time operating the boat in reverse, and that makes a lot of sense, since most students understand how the vessel performs going forward, which is a lot different than going in reverse.
Start with a little bit loose, a little bit, hold. A little bit more, hold. Reach time to slow it down.
At the stern, you can see some homemade buoys, which we used extensively in open water before we started practicing in and around the docks around the other vessels. It was a simple and cheap construction, and I've even thought about making my own so I can work on my skills outside of the class. So what we're doing right now is we're making circles around these 2 buoy markers that we have here on the introduction to the class.
That way.
We're just getting familiar with the boat, the speed, and what wind we have out here today, which is not a lot.
I want the buoy to be right here, and then you can turn hard that way.
All right, so I know you can't see the buoy out here, but what we're doing right now is the Serpentine. We're just running back and forth in between these 2.
Make it turn, hard turn.
Seeing how this boat turns.
Boat's gonna drift a little bit. See, I want you to stay close to this, away from that. This is a lot less expensive than that. It's So my natural tendency is that the bow's going to hit that pier. The bow's going to hit that pier. Well, it might, but the first thing that's going to hit, if I make a hard turn, is that buoy. So right now I'm going to swing the boat, see what the stern is doing, and if I'm about to hit it, I just come out of the turn a little bit and then go right back in.
As you might expect, we kept the fenders out, and we used an old PFD on a rope just in case we needed extra protection. And we only had to use that a couple times as a precautionary measure.
Forward's going to be your brake. Now start recovering. This way. Just so like you're still. There you go. Nice. See how, guys, y'all look forward. See how the boat's drifted and straighten the line? Look forward, please. I want to go forward that first.
Most of the footage is with Colleen at the helm. I had permission to record from the other student, but I didn't want the added pressure on him of somebody recording. Plus, the instructor spent about 90% of his time with the other two students, which was great for Colleen and the other guy, but it left me feeling a bit cheated.
Stop the boat. Stop the boat. Forward. Back to neutral. Yeah. Back. Nice. Good job.
I was really proud of Colleen. Considering the limited amount of time that she's had at the helm behind our boat, I thought she did an amazing job.
A little bit. There you go. A little bit. A little movement now. A little movement top bit. Hold it, keep coming. Get close. Coming this way. Reach down, put it in neutral. Almost strong. Touch. The speed's not gonna hurt.
As part of the class, the instructor also went through a handful of basic knots with an emphasis on the cleat hitch, plus how and when to take a turn on a cleat.
And if I want to let the boat ease forward, I'll just ease this line. Just ease forward. These are all things that are in the textbook, by the way. It's not like us sitting at the table talking about it. This is surging the line. So if I let it go, well, it's going to ease forward. Can you tie this knot for me, please?
Our instructor was telling us that there were 2 or 3 boats used in the filming of Captain Ron, and this is one of the boats used in that movie.
Did you see that? That was cool.
All right, let's tie her off and kick back some cold ones, huh?
I think that boat and the scene from the movie was very fitting.
Let's go on this side, the port, buoy on the port side. A little less throttle. Let's go down the middle of the fairway. I just want you to be in this big space and get used to the wheel. Right down the middle.
So right now we have Colleen doing her figure eights, going through the course, and she's getting progressively tighter and tighter so that she understands how the boat steers.
Go around one more time and then I'll finish the boat.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go back so then we can let this go.
Okay, but it's tied on. It's made fast right here. So what do I need to do?
You need make fast.
It's tied.
Okay.
It's not double
Oh,
back.
okay. Gotta get it. I'm tired.
Got it.
I'll pull it from here. Ready?
Now, you've got it. Okay, then we can.
See, I only said really well that, but I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we don't have any wind on the moment, I'm going to take it off.
Okay.
But stop. Cover that. All right, before we start backing up, think about where's the wind coming from? What's it going to do to you?
So we're gonna be backing up into the wind. So it's gonna try to push us forward.
Yeah, and actually I'm holding you back. If you're in a dock, and you got your bimini, it's easier to look at that index, the one on the boat beside you, maybe.
Okay.
And you do have a window above you, directly
Yeah.
above you. You can see that index.
Yeah.
You see where the wind is coming from? Which is great for our scenario right now. You're going to be backing up almost directly into the wind. It's kind of fluctuating. And so you can back up. I want you to take the stern that way. Well, remember, the boat's going to pivot, so I don't want my anchor to get into that boat. Okay? We're gonna go that way. Just because we're drifting that way, It'll be easier to take the stern that way, and you won't get that. Keep going. Do you like that better? Yes or no?
Yes, but I don't think we can do it in our boat, so I'm trying to think of what
Okay.
I can do in practice.
Come back over here then. I got the wheel. I gotta get comfortable. You ready? Other way. There you go. All right, keep going there. I'm fine. I'm not gonna let it get impacted. Keep driving, but reach over and put the boat neutral. That's good. You're gonna go down there and turn around. What I'm trying to get you to do, I'm gonna ease over and ease. You get the bow of the other.
Okay, yeah.
You're gonna hold that for a moment, and your next target's gonna be the dock box. Keep going to the dock box. Still move forward, yes?
Yeah.
Recover a little bit. Let's push her back over there some more. The wind is fighting you right now. Reach down and put it in neutral. You must push it a little bit, just a little. There you go. A little bit, little move now, little move back there. Got some more, keep coming. So you're getting close. Reach down, put it in neutral. Touch. This beam's not gonna hurt a fence. Alright, I got the hook. Straight at the dock in a moment. I'm going to swing the stern towards the dock, and the way to do that is I'm going to turn the bow away from the dock. So right now I'm going to turn the boat to port, and you see how the stern is easing over there? And I can just keep doing that.
As promised, here's my review of the ASA 118. The vessel was really nice, and that was important to us because I wanted something similar to our boat. I think the price was fair for a 2-day class, but as I mentioned, we only had 1 day. And to be honest, I was looking for more repetition of coming on and off the dock. We spent a lot of time springing off the dock, which isn't nearly as common. In the end, I would recommend the class, but don't rush it with a single day. And ensure the vessel is something similar to your current boat, so you can practice the theories and build muscle memory in various conditions in your home slip. That wraps up this week. Thanks for following our journey, one adventure at a time. Join us on Patreon for bonus footage and behind-the-scenes updates. Your support there is truly what helps fuel these adventures. And don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. We'll see you next week.